Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the first of our virtual 2020 National Braille Music Camp concerts. Of course, we, if things were as they should be, would have just finished our National Braille Music Camp and would be having a very well-earned rest, or possibly, if you're a Victorian, a very long train trip home. But things are a little different this year, obviously, and so we have changed with the times and Music Camp has gone virtual. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, whether you are a present camper, a past camper, a staff member, or just a friend of the National Braille Music Camp. You are most welcome, and we've got a really amazing program of really diverse performances to bring to you tonight and hopefully on Friday as well. I would like to introduce my co-host and technical wizard, Mr. Jonathan Craig, who is also a past camper. Jonathan has very kindly offered to assist in pretty much everything to do with putting these concerts on, and I'd like to make him very welcome. Welcome, Jonathan.
Hello, it's funny to be a mister. It's also funny to be in the position of being co-MC of this. I'm not a Ben Clark or a Nelson, and I won't pretend to be. But it's, when I realized that camp wasn't going to happen this year, I knew that we had to do something, and I'm really excited to be able to help facilitate it by putting this setup together, and hopefully get it out to the largest possible number of people on YouTube. And I hope that you're listening live. If you're not, you will be able to watch this later if you missed some of it, which is awesome. This is you may have already seen, of course, our first concert performed this morning, which was a replay of last year's final Friday night concert. And we're also going to be doing another live stream on Friday night. Now, one of the things that we have done as part of these is asked for you to send in some of your items, which some of you have done, and hopefully more of you will in time for Friday as well. Now, in order to do that, you want to email us recordings as attachments to nbmc.aus@gmail.com, and I'm going to be reminding you of that a few times throughout tonight, because we really want to hear from all of you. And whether or not you have an item, it would be great if you could even just send a hello message. And speaking of which, if you're in the National Braille Music Camp Australia Facebook group, you can talk to us and say hi, let us know you're listening via that. You can also write to us via email, and we will check it throughout the stream. And we will also be keeping an eye on the YouTube live chat thingy as well. But I think that we should probably get to our first item.
I just have to jump in really quickly because I've just realised this is hopefully the first and last time that I do any announcing like this. I actually didn't tell you who I am. I'm Ashley Malone. Recent-ish campers will know me as one of the staff members and one of the leaders of the alto section. So that's who I am. I definitely think it is time to get to our first item, who really needs no introduction because she does it herself.
It's brilliant. I love it.
It makes our job easier.
Yes. So I will let it speak for itself. This is our first item. Enjoy.
Hi guys, my name is Carmen. I'm 11 years old and I'm from Canberra. Missing you guys all so much. Today I will be performing for you a piece which is a traditional bluegrass piece called Grey Eagle on my violin. Hope you enjoy.
Thank you so much.
For anyone who doesn't know this vivacious young lady, that was Kame Rajan from the ACT. Kame is one of our younger campers, and as I'm sure you'll agree, has a great deal to offer, both as a singer and obviously as a violinist. So thank you, Kame. Incidentally, Kame played beautifully, I believe it was a Mozart piece in our concert last year, and I was travelling through a train station the other day and heard a busker playing the same piece on the violin, but actually Kame's version was better. So there you go.
Kame, you are awesome. Thank you so much for sending in an item. Now, one of the things that you can do, if you have something that you've performed recently, if you don't have time to record something in the duration of this week and you want to send something in, you can. That is our co-host Humphrey, the Seeing Eye Dog. He's on lighting for this. Yep. So thank you very much, Humphrey, for your lighting support and valuable interjections. So you can, if you've performed something recently and you're able to send it in, that would be really awesome too. We would love to hear that, because we know that people sometimes can't, especially with situations changing so quickly. It's sometimes very difficult to get recordings together and get people together even. And of course, we are in Victoria, so we understand that better than most. Ria, who has been a long-time camper, has sent us in something that she's performed recently, and this is a Samuel Barber piece called "The Monk and His Cat," and it is accompanied by Alastair Nelson. Here's Ria. That was Ria Andriani, accompanied by Alastair Nelson. Thank you so much, Ria, for sending that in.
What a fun piano accompaniment.
Yeah, so cool. Ria, if you're listening, your piece from last year's concert, I heard that for the first time when listening this morning. So cool. It's really fun to... And this is the thing about Braille Music Camp, is that when everybody comes back after a year, they have changed so much in that time, and they change so much even during the course of the week in what they learn. And this happened to me. The difference between what I was at the beginning of my time at camp, which was only 5 years, and the end, is just ridiculous. And so it's really fun to see people change with those gaps of time. And that's literally the reason why this camp exists. The other reason why this camp exists, of course, is the people who founded it. Key people responsible for Braille Music Camp are Ian Cooper and Roma Dix, who kind of did a lot to bring it together in 1986 and have run it since. Ian Cooper, of course, passed away. What year was that? I can't remember.
I actually don't remember.
No, nor do I.
Recently.
But he was a huge, majestic and terrifying figure for all of us, as small kids coming to camp for the first time, and the admiration that we all had for him. Every time he spoke or did anything, he had our full attention.
We will actually hear Ian speaking in our last item
yes.
tonight. So for any of you who haven't heard Ian's voice before, you'll understand what we mean. But Ian was also a really, a fabulous mentor to many students, many of whom went on to become either staff at music camp or really incredible musicians in their own right. So yeah, we definitely have a lot to thank Ian for. We'd like to share with you tonight a piece that I actually haven't heard before, because this was one of the years that I missed. Ian Cooper playing, I assume, the piano, and Roman Dix playing the flute. We have Ian and Roma with Autumn Leaves.
Ian Cooper on piano and Roma Dix on flute. And we talked about Ian before, but Roma in every way is just such an important figure in the history of camp, and it has to be a lot to said about how much encouragement and kindness and I guess just sheer enthusiasm and energy that she has had, which has been just such a key part of what has made camp such a unique experience for so many of us. Now, Ashley, we have some feedback and comments coming through on the live chat, and hello to everybody who is listening. Thank you so much for tuning in.
We certainly do. Hello to the Blind Music Mum, who says that was brilliant on the violin. Well done, Carme. We totally agree. Hello to Cassandra Embling, who texts in, who is listening. Also to our staff member, Christine Casey, our wonderful sighted staff member and all-around organiser, Kathy Wiltshire. I think that was all for the minute.
Yes, it's so cool to have everybody, and thank you very much. And I hope that everything technically is working out well for you. Now, the reason that Braille Music Camp hasn't happened this year is not really something that needs to be discussed a great deal. Everybody knows, but
we decided it was too cold in Mittagong.
Yeah, that's
it finally
right.
got to us
after all of these years. But the cold of Mittagong can be very merciless, and there are times at camp where everybody seems to just be coming down with the struggle, and this next item really embodies that entirely. And I felt like we had to play it for that reason. So this is from 2009, my last year at camp. I couldn't. I'm still recovering. Really, that's why I never came back. No, but we decided to do some singing. Myself, Louisiana Griffin, whose name is not Griffin anymore. Sorry,
she
Louis.
was and still is our queen of folk music.
Yes.
Oh, and hello to Joanna.
Hello.
Metcalf.
Hey.
Excellent.
And Louis, if you're listening, we would really love to hear some auto harp. Every one of the traditions after every Friday night concert was we would have a folk session with Louis in the Bryant Common Room, and it was definitely one of the best parts of camp. Anyway,
auto harp, for anybody who doesn't know, is a very strange looking sort of rhombus or diamond shaped instrument, which has a great many strings. 36 or 48 is sticking in my head for some reason. A great many strings with buttons that you press down or release to make chords. It looked far too complicated for me to operate, but Louis operated it with a great amount of dexterity and provided us with hours of fun. I was also in this item, and the reason that it stuck out particularly vividly to Jonathan and I was that by the time Friday night rolled around and Ben said, "Would you mind ever so much if you could sing this in the concert?" all three of us had completely lost our voices.
Yes. I am really surprised that any sound was able to emerge from any of us, and I don't think we believed it was going to happen until it did. But honestly,
to bask in our own glory for a second, and hello to Scott Erickson, who was also one of our previous staff members who was listening in. To our credit, we actually did a fairly passable job.
So this also features on piano, as well as Louis, Ashley, and myself on vocals. It features on piano Hayden Smith, and on 12-string guitar Sam Byrne. And this is a folk song called "The Crow on the Cradle."
The sheep's in the meadow, the cow's in the corn. Now is the time for a child to be born. He'll laugh at the moon, he'll cry for the sun. And if he's a boy, he'll carry it up, set the crow on the cradle. And if it should be this baby's a girl, never you mind that her hair doesn't curl. Rings on her fingers, bells on her toes, and a murmur above her wherever she goes. Set the crow in the cradle. Set the crow in the cradle. Set the crow in the cradle. Set the crow on the cradle.
The coughing in that is so funny because it tells such a story of how everybody was even in the in the rest of the camp that year. I don't know why, but it was definitely a year where something went around, which is fine. Everybody was fine in the end. We just did a little bit of spluttering in them. So I don't know if any of you guys have heard of steam inhalations. They are and Miss Christine, if you are listening, thank you so much for introducing me to this insane tradition that I would never have considered before camp, and now it's my go-to whenever anything goes wrong with my voice.
I vividly remember very, very motherly Miss Christine or Christine Boland. We all call her Miss Christine, even though we're adults. Is one of our wonderful sighted staff, and I remember coming into the boarding house, and she's got everyone rugged up and sitting and sipping tea, or just generally being looked after. So we're very lucky to have people like Miss Christine. I have a few more messages. Hello to Christy Stichter from Tasmania, who is listening in. Also to Leilu Talbot, who I forgot to mention, we're actually really, if everyone owns their own, an international Braille music camp.
There was some debate about that last year.
There definitely was. We're very lucky to have some people from over the ditch in New Zealand. So welcome to Leilu. Leilu says, I'm so happy that this is happening and that I can participate for the first time since 2015. So be very welcome, Leilu, and we're very, very glad that you can join us. Also, a hello to Paul Price, who is emailing in to us.
Hi, Paul. It's really awesome that some of the people who, due to other commitments and work and so on, it's really good that they can have a chance. And listening to the concert this morning, I just had such that club hall space is so profoundly familiar to me, and every aspect, particularly of the frantic moving of people into place. But most of all, the choir, which was, the thing I was most doubtful about before I went to camp, but the thing that, it was the thing I probably learnt most from, because, every morning we're getting up and we are singing. First thing in the morning, we're singing in the afternoon, we're singing at night, and, that you can't help but learn a heck of a lot from that. And so it's very important that we play some epic choir stuff.
It carries along really nicely from what we were talking about before about having amazing blind mentors, and also watching the growth of people throughout their time as campers. The next item, we're very lucky to be exposed at Music Camp to a great many arrangers, from John Rutter to Vaughan Williams, and all sorts of amazing. Occasionally, our very own Mr. Ben Clark, who we will be hearing from later. But one of my favourite arrangements that we have ever done was by our very own staff member Nelson Rufat, who created a really beautiful setting of "Whither Must I Wander," which we are going to play now. The soloist for this piece is Anthony Deep, who is one of our campers from Queensland.
Excellent. Queensland represent. Not that I live there anymore. All right. Enjoy. Whither Must I Wander?
Oh
Yes. Yeah, no, that was very cool. Well done, Nelson. If you're listening, I hope that you are. Nelson and MMA are actually in Mittagong at the moment. So that's kind of good fun.
Give Mittagong our regards.
Yes. It's a bit of back announcing and so on going on there. I'll just stop that. Have we got any more messages? We've actually got an audio message, which I'll play in a second.
We do have an audio message. We have a hello from Lauren Hayes, who is listening in. We have a hello from Caitlin Collins, who is one of our other sighted staff from Perth. I believe that's it for the moment, but I can keep mindlessly talking while you're frantically typing there.
No, it's all right. I've got it. You don't. Yeah. But that we needed to have a bit of that kind of thing because it wouldn't be camp without the need for filler.
Some filler.
Yeah. Big ups. There's far too many of them to ever possibly mention, but to all of the volunteers and people who work very hard during all concerts, but especially the Friday night concert, to get everybody where they need to be at the right times. It is impossible to name everyone, but thank you very much.
For anyone who hasn't attended one of our music camp concerts before, I'll give you the very sort of too long didn't read version. There are an army of sighted volunteers and a great deal of different coloured tape. It sort of ends up being a little bit like some sort of very complicated chessboard, but they all seem to know the game, and the game is to whisk blind people off and on stage and have them all standing in correct order with their correct instruments, and they do it spectacularly well.
Yes. Now we have a audio message from a former camper. This is from Paul Price. He may say that, but I haven't heard it. So let's listen now. But this is a great idea, Paul. If you can,
Absolutely.
If you're able to send in audio messages, nbmc.aus@gmail.com is the email address, and if you send an attachment, whether it is a recent performance or something you record especially, or just a hello, we really want to hear your voice in some capacity.
Even if there is something, your favourite item from back in the day when you performed it at Music Camp, we will play it again for you.
Yes, definitely, because we know certain parts of the history, but we want to celebrate all of the more than 30 years. Is it even 35 years now?
30
something.
30 lots. Maths is not my strong point.
No,
evidently.
that's
but
okay.
We have most of the archival files here, so if there is something that you are desperate to hear, it's very possible that we've got it.
All right, let's hear a message from Paul Price. Paul, hello.
Hi all, just sitting back listening to the virtual music camp concert. Good to hear some of the music again, guys. My name is Paul Price. I was at the camp in 1986 and I went to camp till about 1994, I think it was. So happy to be listening to the virtual concert tonight on the Sunday evening, and I also listened to last year's concert today that was posted on YouTube earlier. Fantastic music. Keep up the good work, guys. Every year I look forward to hearing what comes out of the National Braille Music Camp, and hopefully next year you guys can come back again and make some more music down at Frensham. Have a good day, and thanks for listening.
Thank you, Paul. Really appreciate you talking in. It's a bit like writing in, but not. Again, nbmc.aus@gmail.com is the email address where you can send things, whether they be recordings of performances or recordings of yourself or just written comments. You can also write into the YouTube live chat, and we'll be keeping an eye on that. And we have a Facebook comment thread in the National Braille Music Camp Australia Facebook group, and you can comment there, and we will make sure to get to what you have said.
Can I jump in with a few more messages? I've
Yes.
got Caitlin Collins doing maths for me. She said this year would have been our 35th year, so next year, all being well, will be our 34th year. I also have a lovely message here on the emails from Ben Van Poppel, who says, "You're keeping us company on our kitchen bench while we're eating dinner. Feeling nostalgic. Such wonderful moments. Thanks so much to everyone who made this possible. Much love, Ben and Leah." That's lovely. And
Thank
Geordie
you.
is listening in, and Geordie has snuck in an item. Snuck, I tell you.
Snuck.
At the last possible minute. And Stephanie Mitchell, who we are going to be hearing from later, who I believe is a fellow Victorian, says... Sorry, this is... I owe Music Life to the NBMC, National Braille Music Camp.
I owe my music life. I assume is what. Yeah.
I owe my music life to, from my first time in the early 90s, where I discovered choral singing, to learning Braille music from Ian and also Dorothy Hamilton. I also use Braille music daily as I sing in the MSO chorus. That's the Melbourne Symphony Orchestra chorus, and I still play piano and compose. Thank you from all the mentors that are so important, Stephanie. Awesome. Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Thank you. Now we're going to hear another new item that has been just submitted. This is a piano composition, actually, and she will introduce it herself and talk a little bit more about it. But tell us about Joanna, Ashley.
Joanna is one of our longtime campers, turned staff members, actually, from Queensland. And Joanna is quite the composer. This is not the first time that Joanna has just dashed off a composition on her piano. So this one I believe is called Sarah's Playtime, and it was written for Joanna's little sister. I believe Sarah's 2 or possibly 3.
I think she's going to. I've left the her little hello in there, so she'll tell. She'll reiterate. I can't remember either. But yeah, this is Joanna. Hi Joanna, I think that Ashley said that you're actually listening, so hello, and thank you very much for submitting your item.
Hi, this is Joanna. I'm going to be playing some music on the piano for you today. I'm going to be playing a piece of music that I wrote myself. I wrote it for my little sister, Sarah, who's now 2 years old, and this is called Sarah's Playtime. I hope you enjoy it.
lovely song. Sarah sounds like she's playing very quietly, which would be lovely. I suppose very good ambience for a piano piece. I am being inundated with messages here,
Which is awesome.
which is amazing. Keep them coming. Ryan Honshuten from Perth is listening via the barbecue. Half his luck.
Yes.
Pardon me, I'm just trying to do a lot of things at once.
That's-
Geordie says, great work and congratulations for getting all this together.
Thanks, Geordie.
Beautiful to hear Nelson's arrangement again, although very high descants. Yes, I do agree. I think that went up to a top B flat, which is a big ask at the end of a music camp.
Yeah, I know. I feel like he was definitely just messing with you.
Yeah.
Which is thanks. That's awesome.
Anya Kelly Costello, our intrepid orchestra director and staff member and flautist, who we're actually going to hear from in a second, has tuned in from Norway, and I just need to know, hey Siri, what's the time in Norway?
Good question.
It's 11:46 a.m.
Okay.
Oh, that's not
okay,
not too
that's
bad.
not
It's in the
too
morning.
bad.
It's you're probably having morning tea.
Morning
Yeah.
tea? What a civilised way. That's
What-
very music camp of you. We're a big fan of it. I feel like all I do at music camp is eat. It's breakfast, morning tea, lunch, afternoon tea, dinner,
Yeah.
supper.
Far more meals than is ever natural. I think that's probably actually the reason why we survive all the amount of stuff that we do. But wouldn't we actually be in Braille music lesson by this point?
I
can't
guess
rem-
we probably
yeah.
would be. Anya says, I'm enjoying this so much. Thank you so much, Ash and Jonathan, for all the memories and new discoveries. Might be a tiny bit biased, but I particularly loved Rowie playing the flute.
Yeah, it was
Such
such a
amazing colour and chemistry with
Yes.
Ian playing as well.
Absolutely. It was such a lovely, tender performance. And every time one of them played, I was just absolutely rapt and completely inspired.
Yeah, also want to give a big welcome and shout out to Serena Craig, who is the wife, I nearly said husband, wife of Jonathan Craig, who is, I can smell the cooking of our dinner through the closed door of our studio here. So thank you so much for nourishing us while we nourish you all musically, Serena, and welcome to you.
Yes, and thank you so much for taking a photo of us. There's very few music camp related photos, but there is pictorial evidence of us and our workspace here with computers and microphones and things like
precariously
that.
balanced microphones. I've caught my microphone about 7 times before it falls on the floor. It will happen at some point, so just it's an artistic sort of element to the concert.
Yeah.
For those
Avant-garde.
who can't see, on the background of our YouTube stream is a lovely picture of a piano. Are we ready to go with the next item, Jonathan? Because
Yes.
I have an email that prefaces it.
Yes.
Geordie says, here is an item from the 2019 Braille Music Retreat called I Can't Speak German.
I
Jonathan. this is
did German in high school,
yours.
so called Ich folge die Gleichfalls.
Brilliant.
Well, let's, I
I know
hope
what-
that they say it in
Yeah. But it is from Bach's St. John Passion, and it translates to I will follow thy footsteps ever. Anya learnt the flute part from Braille, and we got this together in a very short amount of time. Wendy Richards, who is very well known to all of you who are New Zealanders, played an electronic keyboard with a harpsichord accompaniment.
awesome.
Looking forward to it.
All right, let's hear it. Thank you very much, Geordie and Anya, for getting this in.
Ich
that was Geordie Howe and Anya Kelly Costello. And that was awesome.
What an amazing recording.
And
Thank
Lisa
you so much for
Richards
sharing.
was no, Wendy Richards, sorry,
Richards.
on accompaniment. I'm mixing up Lisa, who is the current BMC piano accompanist. Thank you so much for sending that in. That was great.
We have another message on the socials from Melissa Morn from Jonathan Says Queensland. Sounds really good, guys. Takes me right down memory lane. Jonathan, good to hear your voice again. Ash, thank you for your efforts here. That's very kind of you, and welcome. I think we will carry on with our next item, and no music camp would be complete, in my opinion, without a Ben Clark arrangement. And Ben Clark is our arranger extraordinaire, choir director, wonderful bass. Ben does... You all know Ben. Ben does everything.
Yes.
Ben has done many arrangements. They're always a lot of fun. And this one is called Marianne. And I'm sure anyone who's sung it will have it in their head for days. If you haven't heard it before, my apologies in advance.
Yes. Ben's going to do a little bit of an introduction as well. So you'll get to hear the wonderful, mellifluous and very recognisable voice of Ben Clark as well, who is usually the MC of Braille Music Camp
Do you think
Friday
we
night
can take his
concerts.
job?
No, but I don't want it.
No, nor do
that's
I.
not
This
who.
is very hard.
Yeah, it is very hard. And Ben, you do an awesome job, as did you, Nelson, last year. And I wouldn't want to be either of you. Here's Ben Clark.
We're going to do a piece that I'm sure many of you know. It's called Marianne, as in all day, all night, Marianne. And if you don't know it, you'll have heard the chorus probably 3 or 4 times before you have to sing. However, the moment the choir sings at the top of its voice, everybody now, that's your cue. So pay special attention to the choruses because we expect you to know it. I think also audience at that point will stand. I will be here to do that in the 2 beats I have that I'm not playing. I wrote them specially so I can make a hand gesture. So, with great gusto when your turn comes. Here we go with Marianne.
That was Marianne, arranged by Ben Clark.
Good memory. Speaking of Ben Clark, he's just written in and said that he was thinking that we could have his job. I think I'm going to have to politely decline.
Yes.
I've
Myself
never
also.
tried to do so many things at once.
Yes. Serena writes in, by the way, and says that this was, I guess, in some ways, her first camp experience. There's the mic fall.
I told
We've
you
had
I
it.
was gonna do it.
It had to happen before the end, and that it's great to kind of, I guess, be part of the camp experience that she's been hearing about for 15 years, which is true,
Welcome.
because it's something, and you know, camp is everyone who wants to be part of camp.
Absolutely.
And you know, it is really great to have the chance to show people who might not have heard it all of this awesome stuff and try and transmit
I have a
the joy of camp.
couple more messages
Yes.
have come in here. Re Geordie and Anya's beautiful Bach piece. Leilu from New Zealand says, I like the harmonization between the vocals and the flute. Well done, everyone. Thanks for organising this. So happy right now. And then, in response to Marianne, she says, singing at the top of my lungs at the TV now. We've made it to the TV, Jonathan.
Oh, excellent.
Gary?
We have come to the end.
End.
We've come to the end. It's happened very, very quickly. It seems to as the concerts
rather
always
like
do.
the actual music camp
Yeah,
concert.
yeah. Time. Very strange things happen to time. But I just wanted to remind you again that on Friday we are going to have another live stream of this kind, and we would really love to hear from you. We've got some other items that we're going to be playing on there from that have been newly submitted. And we would really like to hear some of yours as well. You can send them to us via email at nbmc.aus@gmail.com. That's nbmc.aus@gmail.com. You can also, as Paul Price did earlier, send us a message and just say hi and, tell us maybe about some of your fun camp anecdotes, of which there are lots of fun ones that we will get to. I've got some really exciting historical stuff for the next live stream as well. Basically, come back again this time on Friday, 7 p.m. We will be there.
Please.
Hopefully you will be there too.
I have some housekeeping
Yes.
from our virtual choir director, Ms. Ria Andriani, who would love you all to submit your parts for our virtual choir piece, The Bold Grenadier. Some of the older campers may remember having sing through that one. It's beautiful. It has a beautiful melody. Ria has written an extremely descriptive Facebook post and provided a link to a Dropbox folder with everything that you will need to get that done. It's really, really easy. And then it will all be mixed and put together, and it will just be like we've all been together the whole time, and we may rival Mr. Eric Whittaker with enough patience and time. So yeah, definitely have a look in the Facebook group. For anybody who would like to be a part of the virtual choir and isn't a member of the Facebook group, please drop me an email, nbmc.aus@gmail.com, and I will send you everything you need to get involved.
Excellent. I'm really excited about that. I'm not sure when it will all come together, but
You have until the 26th of July.
Oh,
I'm
brilliant.
reliably informed to get your part in, whether you're a soprano, an alto, tenor, or we may be having bass. I'm not sure, but it is all in the post. So you have plenty of time to get yourself inspired and get recording. And yeah, please feel free to join us.
Excellent. So there's obviously a lot of moving parts in that, and I'm really looking forward to hearing them all come together. This is our grand finale for tonight, and it also has a lot of moving parts in it. I'm going to let it speak for itself, basically. But this was a really, really fun item to have at the end of what was a very busy camp, and I feel like it was largely kept a secret from most people until it appeared. So for all of us, it was a really great surprise. So we're going to leave you with this, but thank you so much, everybody who has listened, everybody who's written in, everybody who's submitted something. I really appreciate it. And we hope to see you back on Friday night. Also, remember that if you missed part or all of this stream, in which case you wouldn't be hearing this, but let all your friends know that you can go back and listen to the archive of this stream. I know that there has been some confusion due to technical issues about where on YouTube this is going to be, but on the National Braille Music Camp channel, there will appear full archives of these streams, and they will be marked with chapters so you can easily move between the items and listen to what you want to hear. That will be coming up soon. I will also endeavor to try and sort out what is wrong with the YouTube live streaming facility on the National Braille Music Camp channel, in order that the Friday night's live stream goes up there. Watch the National Braille Music Camp Australia Facebook group for everything you need to know about that. Thank you very much again for listening, and I guess this is good night from us. Bye.
This is we're very lucky to have this group. They're internationally renowned. The people in Iceland think they're wonderful. They certainly did not give them a frigid reception. They had a pretty hot time in Las Vegas. The point is, this group internationally. Anyway, I'm delighted to introduce their conductor, a most charming young lady who will tell us more about what we're to hear. Thank you, my dear.
Hello, I am conductor of the IBA. I would like to introduce you to members of our orchestra. First, we have Claire McLeod on bottom Braille. Secondly, we have Stephen Hayes on keys and carriage return. Thirdly, we have Ben Van Poppel on top and sides. Fourthly, I would like to introduce Roma Dix on the backspace. Geordie Howell on line down. Chantel Griffiths on spacebar. We have Zach Clarkson on the handle. Seventh, I would like to introduce Ben Clark on the bell. Next, we have Paulina Connolly on the paper inside the Braille. We have Christine Casey on paper roll. We have Jack Murphy on loose paper roll. Followed by Luke Yanovich on the jammed Braille. Followed by myself, Louisiana Griffin, on the paper clip thing. Next, Karen on margin. And lastly, I believe Jonathan Heaps on top and side second. If we would like to sit down and take our brains upon our knees. Ready? 1, 2.